Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Bull Talk podcast. Joining me today, I've got my regular boys in Jarrad Ritchie
Evening.
and Benjamin White,
Hello.
and our guest today just can't keep away. Welcome back, Tony Cornforth.
Howdy, folks.
Now the pleasantries are out the way. I think I'll do what I usually do and get straight into things. Talk about racism in football. I've had a few incidents over the past few weeks with fans and obviously players of coloured descent. So we'll start off with you, Jack. What's your view on it? Is there a lot of racism in football at the moment, or
Um,
who's the
it's,
culprits?
it's yeah, it's quite hard to like police, especially like obviously this incident happened with the away fans, so it's very hard to police that sort of thing. I feel, but with this, I don't know if you watched like obviously the Premier League games today. They're doing like a racism
Yeah,
thing at the moment, which is I thought was quite good actually. Like trying to highlight, and obviously they were doing getting all the players to say football's for everyone and everything, which was really good. So that's the thing. Hopefully this will eventually because obviously if the younger generation start seeing things like this, we really try and push it out now. Then it's only really the older generation, in my opinion, which is because it's always been around, hasn't it? But like if the younger generation start picking it up now that it's not acceptable
yeah.
anywhere, then it can get kicked out.
I think we've got a big problem as well of some players actually, being quite racist. There was recently, Tony might know about this. He's former Reading man himself. Pavel Pogrebniak.
Yeah.
His comments about
I heard about this.
Ari, and he was saying it was laughable that a black player is even in the Russian side. When players are saying that sort of thing, how can fans sort
Yeah.
of
It's
who
not
idolise
acceptable.
these players not
Yeah.
gain their views?
Yeah, it's not good at all. I,
And
I really liked Sorry, yeah, I really liked Pogrebniak when he was there, but when he said those
yeah,
comments, it's just like it's taken away for like some of his late winners and everything. You're just like, what are you doing, mate?
yeah,
What are you doing?
it's like we're going
There is
back
no
to the
need for
Stone
that, is
Age.
there?
Yeah,
It,
completely.
it shouldn't happen.
Well, obviously that's like obviously that happened in Russia, but I do
Yeah,
think with like I think you asked Jack, is it getting worse or how's racism like? What is it like? Are we seeing it more now? I think it's been like sort of direct with Brexit. I know I don't want to get into Brexit,
yeah,
but I think since 2016, like obviously Brexit has like had opened a door for like people divided people amongst each other, and I
yeah,
feel that with like obviously with and obviously races into that with people wanting like obviously people, like migrants not coming into the country and everything, and I think it's like sort of similar, and it's just sort of opened the door for people to actually like be able like want people to do like and to
yeah.
chant racist abuse more often. That
People
makes
just
sense.
jump on the train,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
they, and join in. And I think, especially when you got places like Serbia, you got your Montenegrin football, Croatia, Czech Republic, all those sorts of countries are known for your racist taunts and comments, and like what happened to Sterling the other week. Was it the
Yeah.
other week or last week? Yeah,
It was
last week.
Monday.
Yeah, it's like it's welcomed in some of these countries, and it's beginning to sort of appear in English football as well.
Yeah. I think with that with Sterling, it was like I didn't notice it until obviously he did a celebration when he put out his ears.
Yeah,
Like I don't think none of the commentators noticed it. Like, but apparently like when Hudson-Odoi and Rose and Sterling said at the end, it was happening all game
yeah,
that they was getting like monkey chants, and obviously. Like, I don't know how we obviously we didn't pick it up from the microphones or ITV didn't pick it up from the microphones, but it's just shocking that like we didn't really know, and then they had to go out and play during the whole of the game, knowing they're getting racially abused the whole time.
yeah,
It must be absolutely shocking for them.
It will get to a point where it will mean players walking off, games getting maybe even abandoned, things like this, if it continues or
It
gets
was
worse.
That's
It
happened before, hasn't
happens
it? I
a
think.
lot
They're
more
getting told
nationally
to.
now
I
as well.
think a lot of the time they are getting told to walk off. So I'm surprised. Obviously they really wanted to play. I would imagine. So they've really like swallowed like they put up with that whole game and
yeah.
played and went and played for their country, and they're just getting that sort of abuse. Then just play for their country. So
And I think I'll say as well, obviously, if any of you are racist listening, then you're in the wrong sport. Because I'm not being funny, but
What should they be in?
well, certainly not football. Because
Okay.
hockey maybe, but anyway, definitely not
let's not get
basketball.
into-
Definitely not basketball,
Yeah.
but hockey.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Back to my point before I was been interrupted. Yeah, because I'm not being funny. You look in the Premier League. There are players who, there's so many different ethnicities in that league, and they make it great. If we didn't have them, it wouldn't be such a good league. Do you know what I mean? It would be like the Welsh league. Just
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
just poor.
I was just going to say, obviously, there's young kids in the crowds, and they're hearing things like that as well. Obviously, I've said this before, I always get reminded that young kids go to football games. But obviously, if they could be like obviously different nationalities. So if maybe they're a different colour or like just from a different country, and they're hearing that sort, it must not be nice for them either.
No.
And it's going to put off like the younger generation going to football games if that's happening.
It's not just that. It's also the fact that they're younger, so they obviously haven't grasped learning and stuff. So if they hear that, they might think it's acceptable. That's another problem. Yeah. And then obviously they don't know. Obviously, if they're only like 6 or 7 years old and they see their dad or they see people around them just chanting racist abuse, they might just opt to join in and think it's laughing, sort of group mentality. Even if they're like 7 years old, they're just going to think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
There was a stat going around that 86% of football fans have witnessed racism at a game.
Oh, no shock.
High.
Yeah. In away ends, when I'm at Reading, like I hear people like having a go at like black players on our team, and it's just shocking, really.
Yeah. I have to say, I can't remember who it was, but I remember one of the black players getting a banana lobbed at him, so he picked it up and ate it. It's sort of like a good fuck you. I thought that was brilliant. I can't remember what it was.
Everything gets a lot of it as well. It's a lot of ridiculous amount of like racism in games.
Yeah.
But he said he was close to walking off the pitch in one game, an FA Cup game. He had a new manager, so he obviously didn't. But one time he just wanted to walk out. So that's how bad it gets for him.
It's tough, and it's hard to talk about because I don't really want to say anything too wrong or offend anyone. But sorry.
As you say, what I will say about Sterling is that he's done what he can. Obviously, with his where it was like 2 or 3 months ago when he came out against the Sun and the newspaper and talked about like his teammates with the houses, the difference and how the Sun portrayed the white person and the black guy, and it was like, and now obviously this week even Jadon Sancho and Hudson-Odoi have said like he's a role model and they look up to Sterling and like all he's done so far.
Yeah.
Like his celebration, even doing that, he's obviously not finding the funny side, but he's doing it in a way that's not like malicious in the way back, but he's just showing that he does. Like that, he was just basically saying no to them.
Yeah, it was like a big sort of I don't care.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I mean, well, he's like does care, but he's just like, look. In the end, I'm a football player. You're not.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, who's laughing? Bloody Dimitri, who's sitting in the fan.
Not going to stop him playing.
Who's laughing? Dimitri sitting in the crowd, chanting racist chants, or Sterling earning a couple of grand every minute when he plays.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we'll move on to our next one, and I know who's going to start us off on this one, and that'll be Huddersfield's sorry situation. Oh. Starting with you, Jack. Your team.
Obviously, as a fan myself, I accepted this a long time ago. I knew this was coming. But to be fair, the response as a club we've had over social media and things has been very positive. It's been very good. From professional players as well. It's been very positive on what we've achieved as a club. You can't forget what we've achieved and overachieved as a team. With one of the lowest budgets last year. Well, not last year, sorry, in the championship to get promoted. With a new, no one's heard of our manager and things like that. So now everyone's heard of Huddersfield in the country. So, and it's set up our team financially, like our club, for the next few years. So it's been a good ride. To be fair, I've enjoyed it. So But I'm happy. I'm completely fine with going back to the Championship. And yeah, like Tony said, to be fair to me, going back down and getting some wins under our belt.
Yeah,
I just
mean,
think, like, as a fan, you just want to go back to winning football games, really. Like, no matter what level it is, you just want to see your team win and actually show a bit of fight, show they can compete with the players they're playing against. That's what you go to football games to
Yeah,
watch.
we've not had this year. We've not had that.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to compete with anyone. So it's been tough, but hopefully we can come back for it stronger. Do I think we'll bounce back? I don't think we will. Definitely
No.
not immediately. I think definitely not. Not in my opinion. I think it'll take years. I think there's a lot of obviously players need to go, players need to come in. That could happen. I wouldn't rule that out because I just don't know. Like the morale of the team is so low. Like not just because of the relegation, but like we've not had many wins, we've not scored goals throughout the season. It's been, I saw a stat saying that we've, I think over half the amount of games we've had in the Prem, we've not actually scored.
would you put
lowest scoring team on record.
would you put the situation a bit down to some of the mercenaries you've had?
I don't think there is that many of them, to be honest. Obviously, I've got my own beef with certain players.
Yeah,
Obviously,
Ben Hamer.
Sobe. I wouldn't say Ben Hamer. None of them. Sobe. He's definitely up there. Hopefully he doesn't come back. Just have a bit of a clear out, get some players in, get some young players in. Grant's looking good. That's one highlight I can say actually. He's been
get rid of Meunier.
very good. Yeah, he'll probably be gone. I think Lossell's contract runs out at the end of the season. They're probably gone.
It's a shame.
Let's
He
see
is a
what
good
happens.
keeper.
Do you want to get punching like permanently, or is he?
Oh yeah.
No, that's completely off the cards, don't they? If he's not been seen, he's not been playing. As soon as the new manager came in, he's really, he's put him out in the cold. Punchin's actually come out and said that he's actually quite annoyed with it.
Problem is, he's a good player.
Amount of games.
He's a really good
player.
player.
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
He's going to be a quality player in the champ, and if Huddersfield won't take him, then I'm sure we will take him next season. So
yeah, he is a good player, but I'm pretty confident we won't be signing him. So.
I've got a feeling he won't be at Palace this summer.
Yeah.
But the chairman even said January, obviously deadline day. No deals are happening. We're already down, so there's no point.
It's smart, to be honest. So we're financially we're fine to go back down. But I did see today. I'm not 100% sure if this is right. I'm hoping not, but he might be putting the club up for sale, which I'm really hoping he's not. Because obviously I know he's had his issues this year. He's had a heart condition and things like that. I was hoping his sons would take over because they're big town fans and they've been involved with the club for many years. But we'll have to see what happens. But hopefully that's not true because you could not wish for a better chairman.
Well, never know. You might get a
there's not many of them. There's not many of them around these days anymore. So it'd be a shame to lose him.
Yeah, traditional chairman.
To say, I think in comparison to like Fulham, obviously I think they can go down in as early as Wednesday when they play Watford. Like
they're in trouble as well.
Really, really heavily into their playing squad. Like Mitrovic, 30 million. We discussed this a few weeks ago, but they could be in real trouble.
Think about the wages.
Like, they go down. Yeah, exactly. Like some of the players they probably
haven't got
clauses.
I
think they probably will have clauses, but I think like
not all of them have
a relegation clause of like 20, 30 million or something. I don't know, but I'm making that up from the spot. But it's, I think they probably have to have a massive ship out, and they'll still end up being in trouble.
Thing is, they got 3 competent keepers as well. I just don't get it.
We're not going to get into that, but that was just a shambles.
Yeah.
So.
But there's certainly worse teams to be in that league than Huddersfield.
Yeah, well, financially we'll be fine. It's just
worst case
picking
scenario.
that team up from the ground next season.
Worst case scenario, you go down, you become a mid-table champ side.
Yeah,
I don't think you go. I don't think you go straight to the bottom. You won't get relegated again if you were to go down, unless you have a really weird season.
I've said that a lot about a lot of teams, and they've all done it.
Yeah, but you look at the teams that have gone down. Sunderland, Leeds have done it before. These are teams that heavily invested into into their squads.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of them were financial issues, which
Yeah.
obviously then went onto the pitch, which we won't have. It's just the morale of the squad. So if we get rid of a few players, add a few players, that'll get the morale up.
Yeah.
Just a few games, we can get an early win, a couple of goals, that'll really push us on. So. Yeah.
And Juice to be able to go to the Huddersfield Reading game next season as well.
Yeah.
If Reading stay up, mate, we don't even want to get into that yet. I mean, we did win yesterday, but it's,
That'll be when you're on next. We'll talk about Reading.
Yeah.
Luckily, we don't have to do it about Eastleigh or Palace yet. But I think we pretty much hit that nail on the head on Huddersfield then, unless Ben's got anything to add.
No, nothing add on Huddersfield. No.
No, well, I think we'll move on. We'll get the quiz done. All right.
Ritchies Quiz of the Week.
All right, this week's quiz is on, as we got Tony on, and obviously last week's was on Crystal Palace.
nice,
I
Reading,
thought I'd
isn't it?
do one on a... What?
It's not Reading, is it?
Yeah, it is Reading, yeah.
Oh,
no.
So we'll see how this goes. The first question is, Reading FC founded. I'm going to do a pool of options, and then obviously I'll do Tony last, so there's no way you can copy off Tony if Tony does know or doesn't
Well,
know.
why didn't we do this last week?
Yeah, I know, I brought it in for this week. Okay, so the first options, 1875, 1881, 1871, 1862 and 1855. And just pick one of those. I'll start with you, Joe.
Was it the 1875 one? Is that an option?
That is an option.
Yeah.
Ben?
1880, whatever that one was.
Okay, 1881. Tony?
Yeah, that's it.
1871.
Oh, no.
Okay, Tony started off. He's got the first one right. That's
Sounds
good you
cool.
got that right, to be fair, Tony. That's not an easy one to get right. So, all right. The second question is 2005/6 season. Reading got promoted to the Prem for the first time with a record points. And I'm after, obviously, the amount, and I'm going to give you a pool again of amounts. So,
I'll go last
102.
again because I know it again.
Yeah, I'll do last every time.
Okay.
102, 104, 106, 107, 110. 110, sorry.
Ben, go first this time.
Start with you, Jay.
No,
All
Ben.
right, Ben, go first then.
107.
All right, Jay,
102.
Danny,
106.
Oh, no.
Tony again. To be fair,
God's
Tony
sake.
doing well. They're not easy.
That wasn't even an option, was it?
I thought Football Manager said 102. I might have been looking at League One.
No, it's 106.
Right, the next question is when was the Medici Stadium built? So 1993, 1995, 1996, 1998 or 2000? Start with you, Jay.
98.
All right, Ben.
2000.
Okay. Tony?
I think it was 98, so...
Oh, I might get a point.
Yeah, it was 98.
Yes!
Yeah, it's done.
Have that,
Joe's
Ben.
got a point. Oh,
1 up.
Tony, I was hoping you might get that wrong then.
It's going to be a whitewash.
This next question.
I've got a
just-
Reading kit that's 1997 to 1998, which is the last kit at Home Park. So, yeah. That's right.
The next question. I could have picked many Reading players back then. In this, when I was watching them, there was quite a few players I liked, but it's David Kitson is just a little one I was going to do on because I was a big fan of him when he was playing.
Oh, no.
And I was just going to say
I
one
can stand
thing
the
when I was
fella.
researching it. I didn't actually realise. Did you know David Kitson, when he was playing in non-league, was actually working at Sainsbury's as a shelf stacker? So I just wanted to get that point across. I didn't know if Tony knew that, but I just thought that was quite fun.
I don't know. Andy might have told me once, but maybe that's just me imagining it. I don't remember seeing it. So
Okay.
yeah.
And it's just how many goals he got for Reading. So it's just
don't have a
42, 47, 54, 60, 65. And I'll start with you, Ben.
47.
Okay. Jay?
54.
Tony?
I'll go 54 as well. I haven't got a clue.
Oh, Jay's got it, but obviously Tony's got it as well.
Oh
You
yes.
got lucky there, Tony.
I've already
Yeah,
beaten
okay.
Ben then, so I'm happy with that. I'll take the mid card.
Shut up, Jay.
That's
I'll
such
take
a
my-
lucky
Well,
guess.
you say that. I've actually got a few mini questions and a little for the final one, which is the playoff final with Huddersfield versus Reading, which obviously
Oh,
me
no.
and Tony know very well. I just had a few questions on that game.
Oh,
So I
I
was
don't
just
know
gonna,
anything about that game.
I'm just going to go for the closest. So that'd be what was the attendance on the day? I'll start with you, Tony. Is a like
Oh, I
if you want to
actually
copy, you
cannot
can,
remember
but it's difficult.
I
Isn't
think
it?
I'm going to go for 73,500.
Okay. Go with you, Jay.
75,100.
Okay. Ben.
I'm gonna go 69,000.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what, Jay has just got one there. Well done, Jay. 76,682. So you were actually quite close there. So, Jay,
Pulling
you
it
are
back.
actually 1 point behind Tony.
Pulling
So
it
I'm
back.
just going to say that out now.
I'm secretly a Reading fan, by the way.
Okay. I'll let you have 3 goes each on this one, and it's for this question. And it's just who missed their pens in the penalty shootout. And obviously, I'll start with
Jesus.
I'll start with you, Ben. You got
Oh,
3.
we got no
just-
options.
No, you've got 3 players to say. There's 3 people who missed their penalties. I'm telling you that now, and you just got to say 3 players who you think it was. And I'll give you a point for
Just for
everyone you
both
got.
teams or just one team?
Yeah, both teams.
Okay, yeah, okay, I know the Reading ones. Can't remember your one. But yeah.
I'll start.
Hold on. I don't even know who played in this
Sean
game.
Cummings.
He didn't play.
I don't know who played.
Alright, no, I get another one. That was a non-runner.
You know
Jordan
some Huddersfield
Abita.
players.
Jordan
It's
Abita.
fine, it's
Oh
Ben.
yeah, I'll go Huddersfield.
Jordan Abita.
Well, have a
Because
think then. Jay, wait, it's Ben.
Right.
Go on.
Van La Parra.
Okay. Ben? Another one?
Oh, I'll do another one.
Yeah, it's say 3 because there's 3. So
Schindler.
okay.
And one more.
Yeah.
And Mounier.
Wasn't
Ben,
playing
you,
that, but okay.
do you not remember?
I said I don't know who's playing.
Ben, do you not remember
the
we
game.
actually won that penalty shootout? So to have 3 people miss, you've just named 3 players.
No, I don't know who played in that game.
That's fine.
Doesn't matter, go
Well,
on.
you didn't get any. Obviously, I'm not going to say. Jay, you go.
Jordan Abita.
You just did.
Okay.
Oh, bugger. Jordan Abita.
It was 2 years ago.
All right.
John
Ben,
O'Shea.
you've had to go.
He might have
Carry on.
played, maybe. Who plays for Reading? I don't know.
Are we another Huddersfield player, by the way? It's 2 Reading, 1 Huddersfield.
This is hard for neutral.
He's giving you a
Huddersfield.
clue there, which I've not actually even said.
2 Reading,
Yeah.
1 Huddersfield. 1 Huddersfield. Who's crap? Heffler.
Okay. Tony?
So, Liam Moore balloon went over the bar. He just can't believe yeah. And then Jordan Abita, I think, missed one.
Yeah.
And then... Oh, God. Oh, who took your... I can't remember who played. I'm going to go for Heffler as well, but I can't remember.
Well, Jay got Heffler right, and he got
Oh,
obviously
yes.
a beat. Jay, Tony, you got all 3 right, obviously. You got
Yeah.
lucky there again. But just,
I couldn't remember. Hessler and Schindler, one won the penalty shooter and one missed, so I could never remember. Yeah.
All right, so Tony's in the lead by 1. Obviously, I've got a bonus question as well, but this is actually the last question of the quiz. And who was the man of the match on that day? And
no.
it's going to be you, Jay.
Oh my
So we
God.
obviously.
Christopher Schindler.
Okay.
If Heffler's
Tony?
missing, the other one's got to play well.
Yeah. If they do give it to Schindler, I would say Aaron Moy just because he was the man of the match in my opinion, but I don't have a clue.
Okay. So the winner of this week's quiz is actually Tony, and it was Aaron Moy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well done, Tony.
2 weeks
Yeah,
in
you
a
got
row.
up a good fight there, to be fair.
I know, I did
Like,
alright.
You were, yeah, you
Could've
did
been-
well.
could've
to
been
be
worse,
fair.
could've
Like
been
some of
Ben.
them, like Heffler to get like
Well-
right, he missed his penalty. That's quite good as well, and the attendance was good. To be fair, you were just
Ball
quite
went out
unlucky, and
there,
obviously, So you don't want Ben. I don't know what's going on with you. I think you were
I had
happy
a
with the
worse
result
list than
last
Jamie
week.
Carragher found that kid.
I think you were just. I think you were just happy with the result last week, weren't you? So,
Yeah.
obviously, that's the
Decent,
end of the
I think.
quiz. So I hope you enjoyed. Any suggestions of any other quiz ideas? Please just leave a comment in the description. In comment below. Sorry.
When AFCON comes round, I want an AFCON quiz as well. Because I'm actually booking
Okay.
a couple of weeks off for that. So I'll be ready.
Okay.
And now we have got the quiz out the way. I say out the way, it was a good quiz. We'll start with the next topic, and that's Cardiff City today. Obviously, Neil Warnock had called them the worst refs in the world in the Premier League. And let's get some of your thoughts. We'll start with you, Tony.
Yeah, well, I was watching this game at the pub, and yeah, like when Aspilicueta's obviously scored the header and he came from an offside position. See, I know I might get a bit of like ridicule, but I do have a little bit of sympathy for the officials in that regard,
Yeah.
because he's crossing, if you know what I mean. Like he comes back into an onside position rather than he stays in offside. So he's offside when the ball comes in, but then he crosses back. They all go forward, so that it's quite hard for the linesman to spot it immediately because it comes so quickly and everything's come a little bit faster. I don't know what anyone else thinks. But that was my.
You say
opinion on
that, but he was never going to spot it because he was too busy looking at the back of William's head to even spot it in the first place. So
Was it?
He's
But,
starstruck.
for me, I don't think he's done enough. He's got obviously it's been shown now that he couldn't even see it anyway. So even if it was a hard decision, which I don't think it was personally, he wouldn't have seen it because he was too busy looking at the back of William's head. So I think he's got to do more to see that. He's got to get in that position to see that. And it's a big game, and I don't think he's done enough. I don't think him or the ref have done enough.
As I said,
Done enough today.
I think the other decision on when Rudiger to completely tick out, I can't remember who it was. I think that one he should have been sent off completely. Like that was I can't believe he didn't get sent off for that.
I think it's an absolute joke. I just don't.
Yeah,
it just reminded me of someone who just didn't have any bottle.
Exactly.
It's just like it just didn't show like I don't think it was a hard decision, but he still was just he thought about it as well. I was like, yeah, he's going, and then he's thinking about it.
I didn't even know if he gave a foul immediately because I didn't know what was going on. I don't think he knew what was going on, to be honest. That's the one I do have a lot of. I don't have sympathy for because he just.
I had a lot of there was no doubt in my head that he was going to send him off, personally, in my opinion as well, and I don't a lot of people as well. I just think Cardiff are. We've had it this season as well. I just think the referee. We can obviously get into that again, but obviously not today. But just the refereeing standard in the Premier League is not good enough for one of the top leagues in the world.
I think especially when you're a team like Cardiff and you need these points.
Yeah, that's what happened with us. We just weren't getting it. You need it. You need the refs to be on their game, and they're just not being. Again,
but you're not going to get everything.
Yeah, that's fine, but they haven't got anything today, Ben.
But then this sort of brings the argument in VAR.
Back VAR, yeah.
Yeah.
I do actually think
we are going to get
VAR
mistakes.
has had an impact on Premier League refs, even though it's not come in, because now they're second guessing themselves, because usually they would usually just have their own opinion, and now because there's VAR there's going to be VAR, now they're second guessing themselves. So then they're like the decision, what was it when Sterling scored against Watford? He was offside, and there was a big debate with the ref in the linesman a couple of weeks ago, and he sort of second guessed himself. He was just he just forgot the basic rules that if he's offside, if he's beyond the player and the ball gets played to him, he's going to be offside regardless. So, and I think that's just affecting them because they start to second guess their own opinions. I think that's the worst part so far. So I think we're in that little middle ground between no VAR and VAR, where we know it's coming in, and I think we just need to just wait. I think until
you don't know if it is going to be the solution as well.
I mean,
I don't think. Yeah,
I've come to the thought that it will be, but that's just because I have been watching the Spanish league the past couple of months, and they do have VAR in that league.
What is the standard like? Is it good?
It's fairly streamlined. Before I hated VAR. I didn't want it in the game at all. Now, I think it's doable if it's done right. Whereas when it happened in the FA Cup a few months back, no, that's not how you do it. Look at the way Spain are doing it in their games, and it's literally within a minute the ref's got a decision. You know, he knows what he's doing.
That's the thing. I don't feel like we've seen that. So everyone's just got that doubt in their head that VAR's not going to be.
It takes ages, especially in the FA Cup games.
Yeah, it takes ages. Every time I've seen it, it's just been absolutely atrocious. So for you to be saying that like over there they've been getting a result from a decision within a minute,
it's quick.
That's really good. If we even refs as well, if they saw that and just fans in general, that would show. I think a lot more people would have a lot more belief in it. So.
I think it would certainly save a few teams a few points when you're looking at teams like Cardiff and the lesser sides.
I don't think that takes anything away from their performance today. And over the season, multiple refs and linesmen's just not doing enough, in my opinion.
No.
But I think Neil Warnock's response, I felt really sorry for him, but he was spot on, to be fair, in what he said.
He'll get fined now.
Yeah, he will get fined, which is...
Forgetting off the rest of that.
I honestly don't think he cares, though, because, like...
He's got to be fined.
It means so much more.
You can see how animated he was on the touchline, like, just yelling at the refs. And, like, you felt so sympathetic to him because he was... Like, he's worked so hard to be 1-0 up after 83 minutes, and it's just that game's just been completely taken away from him. And that's probably that's momentum as well. That could have been a win that... put them within 2 points of like Brighton, Southampton, and all those.
He even
other
said
teams.
before the game, didn't he? He said like they've written off them sort of games, saying they're not going to take points from there. He said if they take anything from there, it's a bonus, and what a bonus that would have been, which they deserved.
Even a point as well. Even a point, they would have been able to gather momentum. But then obviously Rudiger not getting sent off, and then Loftus-Cheek scoring. Obviously Loftus-Cheek's goal was fair enough, if nothing else happened before that. But because of all the offside and the
because you can't imagine Chelsea would have been really. Attacking in the same way if they were down to 10 men.
So
and like Neil Warnock said as well, it's like I think he said 3 weeks of preparation for that game, and you can just feel like how much work the players have put in, he's put in, and for that to just been stolen from him, it's just not right.
Yeah.
So something's got to be done. But...
Well, I think we'll move on from Cardiff and the refereeing situation to talk about the rest of the weekend's results. And we'll start for the big boys, the guys who played first. Man City. They went and did the job they needed to.
Yeah. Played well.
Obviously, game in hand over Liverpool. 2 points behind them, like they were at the start of the weekend. They played okay. I wouldn't say that it was business as usual for them, but it was a good game.
Sometimes you just got to go in and get the job done. And they did that, didn't they? They didn't need
nothing flashy.
Over push, did they? They just had to go in and get the result, and that's what they did. And obviously, Aguero, a triple captain, so that was nice for him to get a goal and assist.
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
Yeah, I think they just went in there, within 30 minutes, the game was done. They wrapped it up. Aguero went off after 57. I think he went limped off, but I think he's actually okay. And obviously they just rested the rest of their players, I think, in the end. They just was like, training ain't guaranteed exercise
Job
for
done.
60 minutes,
Yeah.
win 2-0, job done, wrap it
Get
up.
a few players on the pitch.
Fulham were up
get a bit of
I watched it on Match of the Day, the highlights in the first 30 minutes, and Fulham were just making so many mistakes after mistakes after mistake. And it's just like, that just shows that they're really poor. I honestly think they're worse than Huddersfield. And I know that's...
I suppose at least we try and we can't score, but we can actually play quite nice football and
I mean,
things like that. And
talking about Huddersfield, we beat Huddersfield 2-0. I watched that game legally, obviously, on the NBC network. Legally, I must stress, again. It was a good game. You did give us a good game. For the first half, I thought you had a good couple of chances, and then Grant missed a sitter, which was unfortunate for the young lad.
It was obviously I think Zaha stepped his game up later on, but Zaha was having an off day, so if we wanted to have you, we could have had you that day, but we just once again not putting our chances away, struggling to score, low on confidence. It's just multiple things, but it is what it is. You took your chances, so. You
did take the game to us though. I know we won 2-0, but it took us 75 minutes to break you down. Then we got that penalty. And obviously Milivojevic is going to put it away.
Yeah.
That man's a mercenary in that box.
Especially when I didn't realise when Ben Hamer was between the sticks. That's kind you might as well just stand like the other side of the post. So and put it in.
Which brings me on to another 2-0. Leicester and Bournemouth.
Yeah, I'm not really sure there's much to say about this one.
You said about Rodgers making an impact. Yeah,
Yeah.
massive. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's just a bit of a nothing game, isn't it? Both sitting in mid-table.
Yeah, not really playing for
Bournemouth-
anything.
Bournemouth have only have lost 10 out of their last 11 away games. Obviously, the one against Huddersfield. Sorry, Jack. But you know, it's yeah. I don't know. I think they just need to, reboot next summer. I think it's pretty much done for Bournemouth. They've probably wrapped up.
Leicester though was very promising. To be fair,
Yeah, top 8 at the moment.
3 wins out of 3, like last 3. So
I think that brings us to the next tasteless game, United and Watford. United 2, Watford 1, obviously. Watford aren't playing for
this
anything.
Watford were
this one, though.
definitely unlucky, weren't they?
As you
United
say,
are
I
playing
think
for
Watford had
third.
20 attempts to Man United's 8, I think, in the end, Watford. And then their goal, Decore's goal, was unbelievable.
Oh,
I
I saw
loved it. I
that
loved
last
Decore.
night. That was tasty.
That was, he went through, like, it was just someone dummied it. And
It
Decore
reminded me a
just
bit like Jack
unbelievable.
Wilshere. You remember that one? But
Oh, yeah.
little-
I know.
it was quite like that one, wasn't it?
It was lovely, yeah. And just dispatched it past the hair. It was lovely. But yeah, they
He's changed
they
so
were lucky.
much since signing on deadline day a few years back.
So Watford have got a really physical team, haven't they? Decore, Capoue, Deeney, and then they've got a couple
Obviously,
of props in the back
Cathcart.
as well. Exactly, Cathcart and Kabasele or whoever plays next to him. Got some decent players in there, really physical. They're a
Foster's
good
doing
side.
well between the sticks.
Oh yeah, quality keeper.
Don't forget about Isaac's success. He got the
Shut up, Ben.
To be fair, I did forget about Isaac's success. So thanks for reminding me, Ben.
Burnley, routine. Well, not I say routine. They needed the win. They got the win against
Oh, that's terrible.
against a decent
Yeah,
Wolves side.
Terrible.
You saw what Sean Dyche said. He was just like, you know what? The performance was good, but what I liked more about it was that we did the ugly parts with the basics, little the bits we haven't been doing in recent weeks, like all just talking absolute sort of old school manager, and you're just like, yes, Sean Dyche, you're still carrying that flag.
And Phil Bartu played.
Yeah,
O'Neill
I
looked
thought
good,
he'd
didn't he?
retired.
Yes. I've not seen that much of him, but his goal was good. Second one.
My brother said he that goal reminded him of Luis Suarez taking the shot when the keeper's not expecting it, because he dummied it,
Yeah.
and then he shot right after his dummy, so the keeper thought, oh, he might dummy it again, but he just shot immediately, and he just completely caught him off.
Yeah.
So obviously comparing him to Luis Suarez is maybe not the greatest thing, but he said that sort of finish reminded him of Luis Suarez's finish. So
Moving on to Southampton. Obviously, relegation scraps again. Equal on points with Brighton now. They've beaten them.
Yeah. We
Any
move on.
comments on that? Yeah.
it's just apart from the
It was a
fact
good
that
grind out. They grind out a good win for them, obviously. But yeah.
Everton, West Ham. I saw that coming.
yeah, don't we need to talk
West
about
Ham
that?
weren't there, were
Yeah,
they? Well,
well,
they
that's
missing
a-
Anderson, weren't they? And he's a
Yeah.
big part in what they do, attacking wise, especially. Now
Chelsea-
it stormed off. He was kicking up a fuss when he come off. Saw that. So. Don't know if
Chelsea,
there's
Cardiff,
issues there.
we've already spoke about. And that leaves us to Liverpool, Tottenham. Obviously, Liverpool needed that win.
Yeah.
Scraped out a solid 2-1.
I wouldn't say it was solid, but
90-minute own goal.
it was
Solid.
really, really nervy. Sorry, it was poor. They played well in the first 20 minutes because obviously Tottenham had a 5 at the back, and they just couldn't control Robertson and Arnold on the wings. And then obviously they sort of switched the formation, and
It got better.
It got better, and then they obviously got more into the game, and then obviously Kane's quick thinking for his for that quick free kick, and then it went over to it was a Trippier, and then came across, and then Lucas dispatched it, and it was and then I was watching my brother, who's a Liverpool fan, and he was pretty nervy for the last 20 minutes because he just thought this could be Liverpool's chance slipping away.
I don't know. Watching it, I always thought they were going to get that goal though. I don't know
So
why.
Well, you saw that one with like when Sissoko was through on goal against Van Dijk with Son on his right, and you're just like, uh-oh, this could all fall apart.
I suppose that if that was Lovren, he would have just fallen over, wouldn't he?
Oh my god, it was such good defending. Jesus
it was
Christ,
ridiculous.
it was great. Like just going with Sissoko, you can't really kick
Baiting
me
him
right.
in, really, wasn't he? He was like going towards him a bit.
Yeah, it's like Sissoko, you can't really kick me your right, so I'm going to try and get you to kick me your left, even though that's even worse. So you go and do it.
You go for it, and then nearly gets a block as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lloris. Well, I would say both goalkeepers really didn't show themselves in glory in that game. Obviously, they pointed out Alisson. He did look a bit nervy in the few.
Yeah.
Like the first goal as well. I felt like Lloris's positioning was quite off. I swear, I'm so sure he was a bit more to the right, and he just, I don't know, it just didn't look right.
It was quite a powerful header, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's no guarantee he would have got it if he was in the middle of the goal, but I didn't think his positioning was right there. Yeah. So, and obviously then the last goal from the Reece as well.
That was poor.
I know I would have palmed it because I'd like to get my money's worth from a save, but he's got to be captain.
No, I've seen you save penalties, mate.
I don't save penalties, so I don't know who you've been watching.
But somehow Spurs are still third. I don't understand. Like, I think that they're third on goal difference, aren't they? Just above Man United. I think Arsenal play tomorrow, and then if they win, they go above them. But
it's what you call a scrape, mate.
Yeah,
they've scabbed it.
It's going to be a great. I think Chelsea are on 60. If Arsenal win tomorrow, they'll be on 63. And then Man United and Tottenham are 61. That's going to be a quality top four battle, isn't it? That should go down to the wire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the last fixture obviously hasn't been played, but we'll talk about predictions for Arsenal Newcastle tomorrow night. I think 3-1 Arsenal, obviously.
I think Rondon's gonna come up with the goods. I feel like he's gonna.
Would you reckon 2-1?
I'll be back Rondon every week, I think. I don't know. Probably a 2-1 Arsenal still. I think Rondon will get the goal. Yeah. I think Rondon will be a handful as usual.
Yeah. I reckon...
prediction?
Before we say it, I just want to say that Newcastle, this will be their 50th consecutive time Monday Night Football away from home. So... when the last time they played, I think it was like 2012 on a Monday Night Football in the Premier League. It was at home. And that's just shocking for their fans, like travelling down to like Arsenal on a Monday night and have to get back up to work maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
I feel
You see that, Teddy? The amount of Tuesday night games I've gone to Bournemouth. Obviously, it's not bad for me.
I know, but I'm just saying, 15 in a row is absolutely ridiculous for Newcastle. Like, that is ridiculous. Like you can imagine. You can imagine maybe like 5 in a row and you'll be like, oh, that's a bit. But then, was it 15 or 40? I can't remember how many it is, but that's just outrageous. Anyway, prediction, sorry. It will be... I think I'd have to agree with Jay. Say 3-1.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a solid 2-0 win for Arsenal.
Yeah. Cheeky.
That's 4 wins for us.
Alex Iwobi scored the winner.
Nah, El Neni.
How many? You don't even play.
Yet. But no,
tomorrow now.
Carl Jenkins.
and we'll
Shut
move on.
up, Ben.
We'll move on from that comment then. Checker Trade Trophy final was played today. Obviously, Pompey were victors of the spoils, and record attendance was broken. What does everyone think? The attendance was apparently 85,000.
Wow, I think that's more than England. Like,
Yeah,
that must be. Yeah, that was more than England against the Czech Republic, I think. Wow.
Yeah, that is impressive, to be fair. They're both big places, I suppose.
And you say that's more than,
Sunderland.
as we did the quiz earlier, that's more than Reading Huddersfield in the playoff final.
Yeah.
So,
the Checker
It
Trade
shows
Trophy
the
is
lower
big.
leagues can. Well, it shows
Two
as
big
well the
teams
lower
as well.
league teams can get good
Yeah.
fan bases.
They're two massive teams, though, to be fair.
Fratton Park,
but
yeah.
that's still a massive achievement.
although I don't know if you guys saw like Sunderland in Trafalgar Square yesterday. They completely
Congregation.
it completely congregated the whole of the The whole of
What
the
were you
fans
walking
go.
through getting a loaf of
No, I
bread?
didn't know. I just saw it online.
Yeah,
You were
Tony
like-
was
you were
one of
like-
them.
yeah.
Help me, I can get out of there.
We love you, Lee
You would have liked
Cattermole.
it, Jack. No, Jack, you would have liked it, mate, because they were just singing Sunderland Till I Die. So you would have got right.
Oh, I
On the
listened to that
river
today.
where they used to build the boats.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've not been singing that, to be fair, like the whole
I
one.
don't think so. No.
I
But I'll
wouldn't
tell you what,
sing it.
if they are doing a second season, that Checker Trade Trophy will be a great episode. You know, just to see
When
them,
they
like,
lose,
yeah,
you just see
when
that
they lose.
that taxi driver who doesn't go to away games going at home going, I watched it from my taxi on my phone.
Oh god.
Well, I think that
Probably
rounds
all right,
off
got a ticket.
tonight's podcast, unless anyone else has anything to add to it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Obviously, I've been Jarrad Clarke. I've had Jack Ritchie on, Ben White, and Tony Cornforth. Everyone say bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Yeah, guys.
Alright, hope you all have a lovely week. If you've liked it, please subscribe. I'll catch you all later.